Welcome to the Midweek Reflection from the FCJ Christian Life Center in Calgary. In one of my other reflections, I mentioned the Beatitudes from St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5. And today, I'd like to go back to that. I want to share a little bit more on the Beatitudes because I see them as Jesus teaching, really teaching the people when he spoke to them. He was saying, this is how I'm asking you to live. This is how we're called to live. So I see the Beatitudes as guidelines for us to help us to know how we are to live as followers of Jesus. So I'd like to look at individual Beatitude today. And, there are many teachings on the Beatitudes in general. I want to read something from the Catholic Catechism. It says, the Beatitudes depict the countenance of Jesus Christ and portray his charity. They express the vocation of the faithful associated with the glory of his passion and resurrection. They shed light on the actions and attitudes characteristic of the Christian life. Now, as I share on the Beatitudes, I'm going to be giving you my understanding on them and how I see them livable in our own life. You can go to other sources for more, scriptural information on them and more theological studies on them. But what I'm sharing is just from my heart, because I want us to get a heartfelt understanding of what Jesus was saying in the Beatitudes. And the first Beatitude is what I'm going to look at today. Happy are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. What does this really mean for us, poor in spirit? When we hear the word poor, we tend, first of all, to think of the lack of material things, but there's a spiritual poverty as well. And for me, this Beatitude is a call for us to reflect on all that we have as gift of God. Everything is from God. And if we're poor in spirit, we realize that anything we have, anything we do, anything we accomplish, it's all because of God's gifts to us. And God giving us the ability to say or to do whatever it is that we're saying or doing. Yeah, we have to do our part, but it's God's work. It's all God's work. So those who are poor in spirit, they're not arrogant, they're not pompous, they're not self-righteous people. They know deep within them that they're not self-sufficient. They need God's help and the help of other people too. So the poor in spirit don't let anything get in their way as they strive to grow in loving God and loving others. So, some helps to remembering to be poor in spirit. Being humble, being aware of the needs of others, as well as our own needs, reminding ourselves of our dependence on God and the help of other human beings, knowing that we need a repentant heart. We all make poor choices sometimes. We need to turn to God and say, I'm sorry. We can all be poor in spirit, the materially poor and the materially rich. It doesn't matter. We can all be poor in spirit, and that's what we want. All who are poor in spirit are more than welcome to come into that kingdom of God. So ready to meet our loving God, enjoy the fullness of God's life and the everlasting kingdom of heaven. So let us do all we can with God's help to be poor in spirit. God bless you all.